Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Metlifecare team, welcome to our live midweek quiz. I'm Kate Drury from the Sales and Marketing team, and I'm delighted to welcome you to another big night in. Thank you all to all the residents and staff and family and friends who joined us last week, and a warm welcome to everyone joining us tonight. And thank you so much for the great feedback we received after last week's event. Please keep it coming in after tonight's quiz, and we love hearing from you. Next Wednesday, we'll have the first of our exclusive concerts by the Ladykillers to enjoy. So keep an eye out for more details about that in our emails and on our Big Night In page on the website. Soon we'll meet our hosts, Brendan from Believe It or Not, and our very special guest, Shaun Wallace, who fans of The Chase no doubt will recognise. But before we start, just a couple of notes on how we operate the quiz. If you haven't joined us before, this will just give you an idea of what to expect. We're using a webinar format, so even if you've used a Zoom meeting before, a webinar is slightly different. You don't have the option to turn on your camera or your microphone, but that's just so that we can all hear the quiz without interruptions. However, we would love to hear your quiz questions for Shaun and challenge him in between rounds. We've already received some great questions for Shaun in advance, but if you'd like to submit your own, at the bottom of your Zoom screen, you'll see a Q&A button. So please place any questions for Shaun in the Q&A box, including the answer to your quiz question, so we can see if Shaun gets it right. And we look forward to seeing if you can stump the chaser. On to the quiz. You'll just need your answer booklet or just a pen and paper to record your answers. We're going to do 5 rounds with 10 questions each, and we'll read the answers at the end of each round. At the end of the quiz, we'll tell you how to send us your scores. You'll mark your own scores, so I'm sure you'll be very honest when you send in your scores. And we've got a prize draw for all the scores that are entered, plus a prize for the best question for Shaun. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to our hosts, Brendan and Shaun, to start the quiz.
Wednesday, the 22nd of September 2021, Metlifecare. How are you all today? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Shaun and I are back. This is part 2 of our quiz series, and we've been looking forward to this one. I think without any further ado, we'll bring the big man himself in. So, ladies and gentlemen, here he is again. If you haven't seen him last week, he has got himself out of bed nice and early. He's done all his push-ups. He's done his little exercise routine. He's looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Put your hands together, please, for Mr. Shaun Wallace.
Oh, sorry. Just woke up there. How are you, Brent?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good. Really, really good. Really good.
Nice
really
one. So this is week 2 with these guys. So they've been swatting a bit all week. So they've been studying up. So I think we're going to have a good show with them today. Now, listen, a couple of things, Shaun, a wee bit different today, and I'm talking to all the people watching at the same time as well here. Last week, we asked a lot of questions about Shaun and the chase and that sort of thing. It's a little bit different tonight, Shaun. These guys, they reckon they've got your number.
Oh dear. Another set of victims. That's good. We'll see. We'll see whether or not they have got my number. I'm sure I will get caught out from time to time.
Yep, they've got some quiz questions for you to answer. So we'll get to those at some point. But just for those of you watching at the moment, here's the thing. Instead of asking questions about Shaun's life and the chase and things like that tonight, a bit different tonight, come up with a really cool trivia question for Shaun. Look, if you ask stuff about New Zealand, it's a bit unfair on him. Just bear that in mind. If you can ask really good trivia questions, what we're going to do, Shaun, is we're going to ask you to judge the best question, and that's the person that's going to win a signed copy of your book tonight.
And there it is, there, mate. Yeah,
beautiful, chasing the dream. So fantastic. So just before we go any further, Shaun, one quick question. There is a good question that your friend Phoenix from last week just wants to.
Yeah. Hi, Phoenix. How are you?
She said, "Are you the eldest? Do you have any siblings, and are you the eldest?" Now, this took me back to the fact that you are not the smartest quizzer in your family, so I think you should tell that story to get things started.
Right, I'm not the smartest quizzer in my family because I've got a younger brother, Steve, who we used to play Trivial Pursuit back in the day, and I've never beaten him. So when I won Mastermind, he was very, very proud of the fact that I won Mastermind. But the one thing which he said which really kept my sort of feet on the ground, not that I needed it, he said, "Shaun, I'm so proud of you that you're the sort of champion of Britain, but guess what? You're not even the champion of your own household."
Yeah, that's it. So I thought that was a fantastic story. So there you go, Phoenix. And just one quick question before we finish, before we move on. Philippa Smith, great question, because I asked you this as well. Has there ever been a thought of the chasers having a competition against each other to find out the smartest chaser?
Okay, even if we did have a competition, that wouldn't be indicative of being the smartest chaser. It'd be indicative of the fact that they won that competition, because we are very, very good in our own right, and it would always upon just after my final, it just happened to be my day. So, we'd love to compete against each other if the situation arose. Who knows? One day it may happen for charity.
Nice one. All right. Well, look, without any further ado, let's crack into the quiz. We will have some questions as we go through the quiz, Shaun. But in the meantime, I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to crack right into the quiz. And,
good luck, everybody.
And here we go. So we'll just go through the. We'll go through how this all works. Just before we do, we had a few images of you last week, so let's just have a look at some of the ones this week too. Shaun and I went to Queenstown when he first arrived in New Zealand, and we went on the wasn't the Shotover jet, was it? It was the Cowrail jet, and that was
that was brilliant. That was we had a great time.
That's us in Queenstown, and then what happened here?
That's when I persuaded you to actually bungee jump. You didn't tell Belle, your missus, and the chase didn't know I was doing it. So I managed to twist your arm to finally actually break that duck. So you ticked that bucket and this stuff, and we both bungee jumped. It was brilliant.
The reason that's a photo of me bungee jumping and not you is that image can never get back to the producers of the chase. Because
they know about it. I told them about it, so I've done it. They knew.
Shaun said to me, I wasn't supposed to do that, and I said, what do you mean? He said, well, it's in my contract with the chase. I'm not allowed to do any adventure activities. I'm like, well, you just jet boated and jumped off a bridge, Shaun.
Exactly.
And then just a little bit later, we caught up with this chap, didn't we?
One of my sporting heroes, great sporting heroes of all time, paddles, Sir Richard Hadley. It was an honour that he came to meet me, actually, and we just had a fantastic time. And he showed me that memento of him. That's when he took, is it 9 for 52 against Pakistan, is it? As I recall.
That is right there. So, yeah, look, Shaun and Sir Richard caught up at Christchurch Airport. They occupied about 4 seats of the cafe in the corner there in the domestic terminal for about 90 minutes. They had a fantastic catch-up. And Richard and Lady Diane invited you to go back and stay with them, actually. And, I'm sure that offer's still open.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm looking forward to it when New Zealand's back open. So when it is, I'll be there.
Cool. So it's really easy, guys. It's quite straightforward. If you did it last week, it's exactly the same. Okay. All questions and 4 multi-choice answers appear on the screen. Use a pen and paper or the answer sheet supplied to record your answers. Or you can just watch and play for fun. Towards the end of the quiz, we'll give you details on how to enter your scores. And your team is your bubble. So no Googling, please. Let's be nice and fair and square. Like we just said, put your best trivia question for Shaun in the Q&A. And at the very end, Shaun will decide, once we've asked him a few questions in between rounds, he'll decide which of the questions asked him tonight he thinks warrants the right to be given a personalised signed copy of Chasing the Dream. Fantastic. Without any further ado, let's have a look at the categories for this evening.
Hey, Brendan, sorry. You're just sharing the wrong screen, so you've got the presenter slide being shared currently.
Thank you. Every time a coconut, you think I'll be used to this by now. Oh dear. Right, I'll try that again, ladies and gentlemen. I did the screen too before. Thanks, Sammy.
No worries.
Sorry, guys, a bit of a false start there, but away we go. That's better, isn't it?
Perfect.
You know what? Technology, Shaun and Brendan, bit of a struggle, isn't it, Shaun?
Well, you're much better than me, Brendan. As I say, the only computer I can work really with certainty is an abacus. So I don't know about that, mate. You're much better.
Nice one. Hey, I bet you like the look of that first category, Shaun.
I certainly do. My favourite topic. Yeah. So looking forward to that one.
Bit of entertainment. We've got a bit of sport games and hobbies and leisure and things like that in there. We've got some general knowledge and we've got some science to finish. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your evening with Shaun. Let's crack into the first round tonight. which is 10 questions about history. Now, the way this will work is at the end of the round, we will give you the 10 answers. So we'll do the 10 questions and then we'll do the 10 answers for each round. Question number 1.
Is this? Derek Quigley and this man founded an organization in 1993 that would eventually become what political party? Is it A, ACT, B, Green, C, New Zealand First, or D, Social Credit?
Shaun is such a smart man. He worked out that NZ was in fact New Zealand. I like that. He's
Oh,
obviously
good.
awake. It is it's the ACT party, ACT being Australian Capital Territories. You wouldn't have known that, of course. So ACT, Green, New Zealand First, or Social Credit. Derek Quigley and this man. Who's in what do you got? The Conservatives in power at the moment in Britain?
Yeah, they've been in power since 2010. Yeah, they've been in power since 2010.
That is a long time, isn't it? 11 years.
It certainly is.
Okay, so that is question number 1. Question 2.
Is this? What was both the name of a space shuttle and one of Captain Cook's ships? Is it A, Atlantis, B, Discovery, C, Endeavour, or D, Resolution?
Atlantis, Discovery, Endeavour, Revolution. How many space shuttles were there? There must have been half a dozen, I think.
Three of those names were the most well-known names of the space shuttle, which began actually on the 12th of April, 1981.
12th of April, 1981. I remember that very well, actually. I remember as a 10-year-old boy watching that. That was very cool. Question 3.
I was born in which year? Is it A, 1763, B, 1790, C, 1812, or D, 1833?
1763, 1790, 1812, 1833. Could throw a blanket over those.
I know that
Give
one.
them a bit of a clue as to who it is.
Oh, Brendan, we never give clues. We never give clues because we're talking about a smart set of quizzes here today. So remember, they've sent me some trivial questions and I'm not going to get any clues, so they're not going to get any from me.
Fair enough, mate. I'm with you, Shaun. I'm with you. Fair enough. We move on. Question 4.
Is this? Who is responsible for this famous painting? Is it A, Albert Dürer, B, Edvard Munch, C, Pablo Picasso, or D, Salvador Dali?
You got some great art galleries in London, haven't you?
Yes, I love going to art galleries. I suppose one of my favourites is the National Portrait Gallery, which is on Trafalgar Square. That's a lovely one. And I also like going to the Royal Academy as well, which is on Piccadilly. Have you been to a few when you was in London?
Sorry?
Did you go to a few when you was in London?
Yeah, absolutely. I went to the one in Trafalgar Square. We lost my son there for about half an hour, and my wife couldn't have been more freaked out, I promise you. It was a 9-year-old boy in an enormous museum.
Next time you come, you've got to go to like the Tate. You got the Tate Modern Tate Britain. Lovely.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great city, isn't it? Question 5.
Is this? Sheriff Pat Garrett killed which outlaw in 1881? Is it A, Billy the Kid, B, Jesse James, C, Pretty Boy Floyd, or D, Wild Bill Hickok?
Can I ask you, Shaun, have you heard of all 4 of those names?
I certainly have. The latter one, Wild Bill Hickok, he was shot holding 2 aces and 2 8s in his hand, which is called Dead Man's Hand. Okay.
That's true.
His real name is James Butler Hickok, but it could have been him.
Could have been him instead. It's that fellow on the right who doesn't quite look. It's not the greatest photo of him, is it?
Sheriff Pat Garrett, yeah. He himself was actually killed. He was actually killed as well eventually in 1908.
Was that the Battle of OK Corral, or was that something else?
No, he wasn't in. No, that you're talking about the Earps and the Clantons. So you're talking about Dr. John Holiday. That's something completely separate. Although that did actually happen in 1881, I believe.
Oh, question 6.
Is this? The first Mormon temple in the Southern Hemisphere, built in 1958, in which city that is known as Maori as Kirikiroa. Oh,
not bad. I set you up again, never know. Kirikiroa. Kirikiroa, yeah. So Dunedin, Hamilton, Nelson, or Whangarei.
Whangarei. Yeah, I know that one.
And you've been to 3 of those cities. In fact, a good clue, Shaun, without giving it away, is the answer is the city you haven't been to. Let's see if you can remember.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. The answer is the city you haven't been to. You've been to 3 of those 4
I haven't been to that. Well, working it out, even now I'm going to be struggling because we went to so many cities, it's just ridiculous.
I know, mate.
Question number 7 is this. Paper banknotes originated in which century? Is it A, the 11th, B, the 14th, C, the 17th, or D, the 20th?
Sorry. Right,
Question
11th,
number 8.
11th, 14th, 17th, or 20th century for paper banknotes.
That's an odd image of George Bush wearing a crown, but never mind.
The divided states of America. I think someone's having a giggle there, aren't they? A 0 note. A 0 note. 11, 14, 17, or 20. So there's 300 years between each answer there. Question 8.
Is this? Christopher Columbus discovered America in which year? Is it A, 1292, B, 1392, C, 1492, or D, 1592?
1292, 1392, 1492, or 1592. So we've got 4 possible options there. Round 1, question 8. What nationality was Christopher Columbus? Was he Portuguese?
No, Italian.
He was Italian, okay. I'm muddling him up with Magellan, aren't I?
Yeah. The first man to circumnavigate the world, although he didn't complete the voyage because he was murdered in the Philippines. Okay. But his ship did.
Question 9.
Marguerite and Richard Steiff are Germans whose Steiff company produce high quality what? Is it A, bowler hats, B, cigars, C, pens, or D, teddy bears?
Bowler hats, cigars, pens, or teddy bears? Okay. I think my wife would know this. This is a great question, actually.
Yeah.
You got this?
Very good question.
Yeah. Very, very niche industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, the last question.
No clues, Bren. No clues, son.
Yeah, all right. Do you reckon Shaun Wallace is 9 out of 9 so far?
No.
All right. Question 10.
Is this? The European Union granted what country exclusive rights to produce feta cheese in 2002? Is it A, France, B, Greece, C, Italy, or D, Spain?
Feta cheese goes nicely in salads. Almost gave the answer away there, but moving right on. France, Greece, Italy, or Spain?
It's usually kept in brine, actually, a brine solution.
Is it? Okay. So that is the end of that particular round. So what we might do, Shaun, is just pause here a minute. I've got some questions for you, sir. Right, are you ready? We'll start you with 3.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's just pause here. Okay.
First of all, Sid Bailey, Pine Song Village, Titirangi. Here's his question. Well done, Sid. I like this one. What was the name of the West Indian cricketer who died as a result of a car crash in 1959?
No, I wouldn't know that.
Very famous West Indian cricketer.
I'll have a guess. I'll say Valentine, Sonny Valentine.
The first West Indian cricketer hit 6 sixes in an over.
Sorry, can you read that question again?
The name of the West Indian cricketer who died as a result of a car crash in 1959. Look, let me be clear here. I haven't verified any of these questions.
Well, okay.
I think he
it definitely can't be Gary Sobers because he hit 6 sixes on the 31st of August, 1968. So it can't be him.
Which is what I realized as I asked the question. Sid, I think you might have got your year wrong. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? what Sid's done here is said the driver of the car was Sir Gary Sobers, but I don't actually have an answer. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, yeah, because okay, so he was driving a car or somebody. Okay, but Gary Sobers, it couldn't have been him because he was still alive. He's still alive now. Anyway,
right.
Unlucky Sid, nice try, mate. Next, quick, next.
Okay. Dave Sims from Longford Park Village in Takanini would like to know, Maori arrived in Aotearoa, New Zealand in what year? And I'm going to give you some multi-choice options.
Hold on, I didn't hear that question again. Can you break it down, Brendan? Say it again.
Maori, the Maori people, arrived in New Zealand / Aotearoa in what year? Now your options being 1320, 1520, or 1720. Right.
I'm going to. I thought the Maoris would have arrived. I'm going to say the first option.
Yep, 1320. Well, that's what Dave's got here, but I'm a bit worried that obviously I haven't checked the questions, but Dave says it's 1320, so we'll give you that one. And we've got a Fleetwood Mac question from Caitlin Hodgson. She would like to know which New Zealand musician has been playing with Fleetwood Mac since 2018.
Oh, I can't remember his name. Oh dear, because he replaced Lindsay Buckingham. Yes, I do know. It's Neil Finn.
Well done. It is Neil Finn.
Yeah, Neil Finn. Yeah, Neil Finn. Yeah, I do know that. Neil Finn. Yeah. Because I know he replaced Lindsay Buckingham.
That's right.
Yeah, Neil Finn, formerly of Crowded House.
Well done, Sean. Let's do the answers to round one, shall we?
Okay, mate.
Where we go.
Right, I'm going to have to take a guess. I'm going to have to take a guess, and I'm going to say New Zealand first.
Not bad, but in fact, the answer's ACT. That is Derek Quigley. That is Sir Roger Douglas, and the answer is the ACT Party. So it's all right. You weren't expected to get a New Zealand politics question, but I bet you know this one.
Yes, that is Endeavour.
Quite right.
Endeavour. Right, now he was born on the 7th of February, 1812, and he died on the 9th of June, 1870. So that's Charles Dickens, and he used to be on the £10 note in England.
They took him off.
Yeah, we now have Jane Austen.
Okay, all right. All right, what about this one?
Oh yeah, that's probably the most famous painting of Edvard Munch, and the reason why that is painted is in response to the Krakatoa eruption, and what happened because of the because it was so loud, and some of the volcanic ash still resonated. That was a drawing in response to that.
Okay, well you're right. What about Sheriff Pat Garrett?
Oh yeah, he killed Billy the Kid. His real name was William H. Bonney. Jesse James was shot on the 2nd of April, 1882 by Robert Ford. Pretty Boy Floyd was a 20th century gangster, so I don't even think he was even born then. And I've already told you about Wild Bill Hickok was shot whilst playing in Deadwood. He was shot in Deadwood actually.
Billy the Kid was July 14, 1881 at Fort Sumner.
Yeah, Fort Sumner in New Mexico. He was killed.
Cool. Right. The first Mormon temple in the Southern Hemisphere. Right. Which of those cities?
Right now, Brendan, I know I've been to Dunedin. I know I've been to Whangarei. I don't think I went to Hamilton, so I'm going to have to say Hamilton.
Yeah, you can go to Hamilton. You got it right. Very good. Yeah. Kirikiri Roa also names part of the Waikato River that flows through Hamilton as well. Question 7. Paper banknotes.
Paper banknotes. Now, paper banknotes originally, I was about to say the 11th century before you actually put the thing up, but they originated in China. Right, the first voyage was in, the 11th century. The question number 8. Yeah, that was 1492. Was the first voyage, as you can see there.
Quite right.
Right, before you move the answers, I'll tell you the answer there. Now, teddy bears is the correct answer, and they were named in honor of the US President Theodore Roosevelt, who went hunting and he refused to actually shoot a bear cub. And people were so enamored by that. That's the reason why they're called teddy bears.
That's awesome. Awesome. You're quite right. And question 10, last question in this round.
Greece is feta cheese. Yeah.
I nearly said feta cheese is in a Greek salad. That might have given it away, wouldn't it?
No, it could have been in a French salad. Those countries do make salad, but the answer there is Greece.
All right, brilliant. Well, round number 2 is our entertainment round, Shaun. We will crack on with that now. Here's question number 1.
What is the next phase from this popular children's book? I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them? Is it A, Fort Knox, B, on the rocks, C, wearing socks, or D, with a fox?
Famous author. I bet you know his real name, don't you?
Yeah, Theodore Geisel. He was born in March. I think he was born on the 4th of March, 1994, but Theodore Geisel was his real name. Dr. Seuss, just in case.
There's a lot of people out in Metlifecare land, I'll tell you, they read that to their grandkids at the moment, and they'll be kicking themselves as they'll be saying, I'm sure I've just read that to them. Is it? Oh, what is it? What is it? I'm sure they'll get it. Question 2.
Is this, which member of the 3 tenors is sadly no longer alive? Is it A, Jose Carreras, B, Luciano Pavarotti, C, Moses Mackay, or D, Placido Domingo?
So one of those is not
which is a bit strange, yeah. 3 tenors and 4 options, but we won't go into that, Brendan.
Yeah, no. One of those options is from Soul Free Mio, which is a New Zealand opera singer. So
which of those is
I needed a 4th option, Shaun, so I went down that road.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm only teasing, mate. I'm only teasing.
Yeah,
question number 3.
I get it. That's a good question. What about this one?
Question number 3. In 1974, TV advertising in New Zealand was finally allowed on what day of the week? Is it A, Thursday, B, Friday, C, Saturday, or D, Sunday?
All right. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Yeah, as a boy, Shaun, I remember that pretty much the weekends were sacred. You know, Mum and Dad worked Monday to Friday, and then you had the whole weekend off. So it's very different. Very different these days, isn't it?
It certainly is. It certainly is. We've become more secular. We've become more secular as a society.
We have. Like, I think we got TV in 1960 in New Zealand. So this is 14 years on, and they finally allowed advertising on what day of the week. Interesting. Question 4.
Question number 3. How old was I when I died? Was it A, 50, B, 60, D, 70, or D, 80?
50, 60, 70, or 80. How old was this chap when he died? Question number 4. Yep, I think most people would know who that was. I notice he's dressed the same way as you at the moment, with the white shirt and the black tie.
But he doesn't have he hasn't got a collarless jacket like I wear.
Oh, very nice.
Question number 5. Who lives here? Is it A, Edmund Blackadder, B, Dougal Maguire, C, Rennie Artois, or D, Sybil Fawlty?
Okay, so those 4 names are all fictional British sitcom characters, aren't they?
They certainly are.
Yeah, okay. So you can probably eliminate, even if you don't know the show, you might be able to eliminate a couple of those answers, folks.
Yeah, even though I'm not sure, I'll have to have a guess on that one. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's a favourite of our family, this show. It's a really funny 90s television series. Question 6.
It says, Mark Bolan died after crashing his car into a tree in which city in 1977? Is it A, Brisbane, B, London, C, New York, or D, Paris?
All right.
I remember the day it happened.
Okay. I've actually been to the memorial. There's a memorial on the side of the road. Yeah,
in Barnes, the actual tree itself. Yeah.
Mm.
His real name was Mark Feld.
Okay. All right, question 7.
Is this? According to Ian Blyton, who lives on his own Who lives in his little own house for one in Toyland? Is it A, Bob the Builder, B, Bang Bang, C, Noddy, or D, Postman Pat?
Okay. Once again, very useful if you're reading books to your grandchildren, folks. Bob the Builder, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Noddy, or Postman Pat. All right. Yeah, very famous writer, Enid Blyton. She was British, wasn't she?
Yeah, she died in 1968. Yeah, responsible
Wow.
for like the famous 5, Secret 7.
Look, I really, really, really enjoyed her books as a kid. I read all the Secret 7. I read all the famous 5. She was fantastic. Next question.
Which film is this? Tenors. A, Brave Saigon, C, Starlight Express, or D, West Side Story?
Hairspray, Miss Saigon, Starlight Express, or West Side Story. Which film is this? It won 10 Oscars. Okay. Yep, very famous film. Can't say I've seen it.
They're all famous films. Let's not give it away. Very famous film. They're all famous films. No clues.
All right.
Released in 1969, My Way became whose signature tune? Is it A, Bing Crosby, B, Dean Martin, C, Elvis Presley, or D, Frank Sinatra?
Bing Crosby, Dean Martin,
I lived
Elvis Presley.
a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. I think we just lost 180 people from this quiz, Brendan. Sorry about that.
No, the viewing numbers are going up, Shaun.
No, I think we've lost them.
Bradley loves it when you sing, doesn't he?
Well, not really. No,
that's it. He loves to give you a hard time when you sing.
Oh yeah, and that's the reason why I sing, to give him a hard time, just to annoy him.
Nice one. Question 10.
Who has never been a host of this popular Kiwi TV show, Fair Go? Is it A, Brian Edwards, B, Kevin Milne, C, Max Cryer, or D, Philip Alpers? Right, I'm going to have a guess to this one.
Yeah, you have to have a guess to this. Fair Go is a current event show that any shysters in the land, they go and hunt them down and find out why they haven't touched someone's toilet or started building and took their money and disappeared and that sort of thing. So, yeah. Brian Edwards, Kevin Milne, Max Cryer, or Philip Alpers. One of those 4 gentlemen was not a host of Fair Go. All right, well, we've got some more questions for you, Shaun. The problem I've got here, Shaun, is some of them haven't given me the answers. Okay.
Answer the question anyway. Let me see if I can answer it.
Cool. What are the names? This is from Victoria Smith. What are the names of the Duke and Duchess's children? I assume the Duke and Duchess of...
Yeah, Prince George was born in 2013. Then you've got Prince Charlotte. And the last one, who was actually born on the same day as St. George's Day, that's Prince Louis.
Okay. So I think the answers I've got here for that, I think they mean Harry and Meghan.
Harry and Meghan is Archie and Lilibet.
Yeah, very good, very good. Okay. We've got Connect 20 would like to know, hi Shaun, my question is, can you name the code name for the 5 beaches the Allies invaded on D-Day? This is Rob.
Yeah, you got Juno, Sword, Gold, Omaha, and Gold, Juno, Sword, Omaha, and Sword. I think it is.
You said Sword. Where are Mormons from?
Mormons are from Salt Lake City in Utah, created originally by Brigham Young and Joseph Smith. So that was in the early 19th century.
Yeah, I was helping you out with the 5th beach there, Shaun. The 5th beach. The US state, Salt Lake City is in what state?
Utah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was helping you out there.
4 out of 5 isn't too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Okay, so Jenny Wilcox wants to know, West Riding York is now known by what name?
I don't know.
She's put South Yorkshire. Does that make sense?
Could be. I think that's probably right. That's probably right.
All right, and finally, Christine Holtham. How many strings did the original guitar have?
Oh, I'm gonna say 6.
Christine reckons it's 3.
Okay, that's a good question.
Christine reckons it's 3. All right, let's go through the answers to that round, shall we? What's the answer here, Shaun?
It's the 5th. It's the last one with a fox.
You're right. It is absolutely with a fox. Dr. Seuss's Green Eggs and Ham. What about the 3 tenors? Who do you think's no longer alive?
Well, sadly, Luciano Pavarotti died sometime. I can't remember the year he died. I think it was about 2000.
I think
2000. It's definitely.
You're right. I think it was about 2008. Okay,
Yeah,
now this is a tricky one. Okay.
Well, I'm going to say because of the fact that we've become more secular, and and I would imagine that we couldn't even trade on Sundays in Britain up until the sort of 70s. So I'm going to say Sunday.
Yeah, well, the answer, actually, interestingly enough, is Friday.
Okay.
And look, at first in 1960, television in New Zealand only transmitted 4 nights a week, and only 2 nights of that was advertising. So, yeah, quite a different landscape back then, wasn't it?
Okay.
How old was Hitchcock?
Right. Well, he was born in 1899 in Leytonstone, and he died in 1980. So I would have said 80.
Right. Yep. Sir Alfred Hitchcock was 80 years old. Right.
Yeah, he was nominated so many times for an Oscar, never won. Although his film Rebecca did win in 1940. That could only be Dougal Maguire. It couldn't have been the others. So I'm going to say Dougal Maguire there. Yeah,
quite right. Father Dougal lived with Father Ted and Father Jack, didn't he? And of course, Edmund Blackadder was from Blackadder, René Artois was from Hello Hello, and Sybil Faulty Towers.
Well, Edmund Blackadder was in 4 series of Blackadder. You had the original Blackadder, Blackadder 2, Blackadder goes 4th, Blackadder the 3rd, and Blackadder goes 4th.
Very good. Mark Bolan.
He died on the 16th of September 1977. He was actually driving his girlfriend, Grace Jones, at the time, and he hit a tree in London, in Barnes in London. So there is an actual tree, which denotes the spot where, and she survived, but he was killed. She was driving, but he was the passenger. So he used to be in T-Rex.
Nice. Question 7.
Question 7. Well, it couldn't be Bob the Builder. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was created by Ian Fleming. Postman Pat is a TV show, so it's Noddy. It's associated with Enid Blyton.
It is indeed Noddy. Question 8. Which film is this, do you think?
1961. It won the best Oscars for West Side Story. So you can see there one of the actors, that guy there with a bracelet bending down. That's Ross Tamblyn. So the Jets and the Sharks, based upon Romeo and Juliet story. Tony and Maria.
I was about to say, which Shakespearean play was it based upon? And you beat me to it. Well done. All right, question 9.
Question 9, written by Paul Anka. And this is one of my favourite songs by Frank Sinatra, My Way.
Quite right. Yeah, great song. It really is. And you're going to have a guess here.
All right, let me have a guess. I'm going to say Kevin Milne.
Kevin Milne was one of the original hosts, actually. Max Cryer was a famous New Zealand TV producer. Interestingly enough, he produced Mastermind and University Challenge in New Zealand, Max Cryer did.
Okay.
So there you go. All righty, we'll crack into round number 3. Shaun, now this is sport, games, and hobbies.
Okay. Not too bad. Let me try this. What name is given to this athletics high jump technique? Is it A, the Fosbury flop, B, the Henshaw heave, C, the Jutland jump, or D, the Shetland slip?
4 possible answers for you there. Once again, fantastic that I was watching the Olympics recently. The men's competition in this was a dead heat, wasn't it?
Yeah, between the jumper from Qatar and the jumper from Italy. Yeah. I think that's the first time I've ever seen they agreed to share the gold medal as opposed to having a jump off. So I suppose that's a nice way to actually do it.
I actually thought that was one of the best moments of the Olympics.
Yeah.
It was such a cool moment. Question 2.
Is this? There are 107 acceptable 2-letter words in the official Scrabble player dictionary. Knowing that they are critical to victory, which letter features the most as a single starting letter? Is it A?
Sorry, Sean.
Is it A, B, D, C, M, or D, S?
Now you said
that is very, very good. That is. Wow.
Well, you said last week that you love playing Scrabble.
Yeah, the next time I come over, we're gonna have to play. Yeah, so yeah, I love Scrabble.
And I know, having visited both my parents and my wife's parents in various aged care facilities, that there's a lot of Scrabble happening. So I reckon that this is a great question. Actually, I think they'll be all over this. They're writing little letters down all over New Zealand at the moment, Sean, trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
A, D, M, or S, because because they don't all need a vowel, you know, the 2-letter words.
No, they don't. A, they don't all need a vowel, and B, there's a anyway. I won't
find out later.
Question 3. This brand is best known for producing balls used in which sport? Is it A, Aussie rules, B, rugby league, C, rugby union, or D, shinty?
So yeah, there's a popular phrase, pass the steeden or kick the steeden. So all possible answers there. Not convinced one of those sports uses a ball like that, but we shall see.
We shall see. Question number 4. This Australian golfer lost both an eye and an arm in an accident involving a what? Is it A, aeroplane, B, chainsaw, C, helicopter, or D, tractor?
Do you know the story? Do you know the answer to this?
No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, so he kept playing golf even though he lost an arm. He obviously couldn't be a pro golfer anymore. But did exhibition matches and things like that, and still had a very successful career. He's a golf course designer and an advisor and things like that. But yeah, tragic accident. I believe it was Sydney. Happened in Sydney. So yeah, aeroplane, chainsaw, helicopter, or tractor. Question 4. Here's number 5.
Is this? The Zugspitze is the highest altitude ski resort in what country? A, Austria, B, Denmark, C, Germany, or D, Switzerland?
Okay.
Yeah, I know the answer to that one.
Well, I got to say, they speak a certain language. The Zugspitze are in 3 of those 4 countries, I would have thought. In fact, maybe all 4.
Maybe,
yeah. The Zugspitze. You got this one?
Oh yeah, I know that's high. I know the highest mountain in that country.
Good. All right. Question 6.
Is this? If I threw a 10 again while sitting on Trafalgar Square in Monopoly, what property would I end up on? The A, Bond Street, B, Leicester Square, C, Old Kent Road, or D, Whitehall?
So it's funny, in New Zealand, we generally play the London version of Monopoly, not the New York version, not the New Zealand version. It's always the London version.
Well, it's not. When you say the New York version, it's not actual New York. It's based on Atlantic City.
Sorry. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would. Yeah, the London version is probably the most popular one.
Guys, we do need some more questions for Sean. If you want to win a signed copy of his book, we do need some more questions for Sean. It'd be great for Sid to let us know what the answer was to the 1959 car crash with Sir Garfield Sobers being the driver. Sean's gone for Alf Valentine, so let's find out if that's the answer. Here's number 7.
I'm a 1966 Ghibli coupe. Which manufacturer made me? Is it A, Aston Martin, B, Ferrari, C, Lamborghini, or D, Maserati?
Pretty cool looking. I can see Steve McQueen behind the wheel of this, couldn't you?
Yeah, there is a clue, but I won't tell you what the clue is.
Okay. Oh, I can see the clue. All right, yeah, there's a visual clue there for sure. But you do need to know your cars, I think, Sean.
You do. Yeah.
Okay. Question 8.
Is this? At what position on the all-time most capped All Black in Test does Kieran Reid sit? Is it A first, B second, D fifth, or D seventh?
First, third, fifth, or seventh. Kieran Reid. He was. He's not. He was from South Auckland. I grew up in South Auckland, not too far from where Kieran grew up. He's had a fantastic career. Fabulous captain.
Yeah, brilliant captain.
Real solid guy.
I'm sure he must have been. Is he a double World Cup winner? Probably would be, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think so. 2011 and 15. Was he playing in 11? No, maybe not.
I don't think he was playing in 11, but he may have been in the squad. Because I always say Dan Carter's a double World Cup winner, although he doesn't accept that in 2011 that he deserved the medal, but he's a double World Cup winner.
I'm trying to think who played 8 in 2011. Just we had Richie McCaw and
I thought he was a flanker, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was number 8. He was generally number 8. But we had I can see the boy from Auckland on the side of the scrum, number 6 in the 2011 World Cup, Jerome Kaino and Richie McCaw. But I'm wondering if Kieran was there in 2011 at 8, and I'm not sure. So I'll have to figure that out later. Anyway, question 9.
What is not a current fragrance by Chanel? Is it A, number 5, B, number 7, C, number 19, or D, number 22?
Awesome. That's a great question.
That's Marilyn Monroe. You know her famous quote, the only thing I wear to bed was Chanel number 5.
That's awesome. This fits into the leisure section of the sports, games, hobbies, and leisure part of this round. Chanel number 5, number 7, number 19, or number 22. I think there's only about 5 different numbers on Chanel fragrances, aren't there?
I think so.
Maybe not even that many. Here's number 10.
What does a philatelist collect? Is it A, beer coasters, B, coins, C, maps, or D, stamps?
I think at this point we can probably point out that that couple there seem to collect everything.
Looks like it, yeah.
all of the above. And then when they had to move out to go to their Metlifecare village, they couldn't take it with them. Yeah, there's a fair bit of junk there, isn't there? Hey, we've hit the end of the sport, games, hobbies, and leisure round. So how about we ask you a few more questions, Shaun? I've got a couple of goodies here. Now, they are a little bit New Zealand-centric, but I think you might know this. Can you name the New Zealand actress? Lilius is asking this. The New Zealand actress who played Xena, warrior princess.
Oh, what's the name again? I can't remember. No, it's gone.
All right. The answer is Lucy.
It's Lucy Lawless, isn't it?
Yeah, well done, Lucy Lawless. Yes, indeed.
I didn't know she was a Kiwi. See, that's something I'm gonna remember now.
Okay. Yeah, no, she's from Auckland. Yeah, Lucy Lawless.
I never knew that. Okay.
Phoenix is back. She said, Shaun, what's the Maori name for New Zealand?
It's let me pronounce it right. Is it Aotearoa? Aotearoa?
We're very close. Aotearoa.
Right, now apparently there are moves afoot to actually rename New Zealand, as I heard, or because that is the original name. Does it mean white cloud or something like Aotearoa?
Land of the long white cloud. You're right. Well done. Very good. All right, here we go. We've got a good one here. This is coming now from. Oh, it's gone. It was there and it's gone. Where's it gone? The chap's name's disappeared on me, but he said, Shaun, which New Zealander won the 2005 US Open, Golf Open?
That was 2005 US Open. Wasn't that Michael Campbell?
That was Michael Campbell, quite right. Yep. And one more. Who was the first female director to win an Oscar? From Kathy Riley, this one. The first female director to win an Oscar.
For The Hurt Locker, that's Catherine Bigelow.
Nice one. All right. For a few more questions. We'll have another couple of rounds on them, but you're going to have to judge one of those later on, okay?
I certainly will, kid. Right, question number 1. Right now, He's one of the first people to actually have is honoured for a technique named after him, and he did so at the 1968 Mexico Olympic Games. That was the first time that was ever done by Dick Fosbury with the Fosbury flop.
Quite right. All right, now I really want to know what you think of this one. Where are you going here?
Well, if I'm paying percentages, I'm going to have to go with the letter A.
Shaun, I can tell you, I'm reading the answer here. There are 16 possibilities beginning with the letter A. Okay, and it is the highest one. The next one would be O, which isn't an option there, which has 14.
Yeah, you'd have to go with a vowel there in relation to.
Yep.
Yeah,
well, I can tell you that M has 7, and D and S have just 3 each. So quite clearly it is A. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you have to go with A for that one.
So A for that one. Number 3. Do you know this?
Right.
This might
now, I'm going to have to go rugby union. Rugby union because Aussie rules isn't really played in New Zealand. Shinty doesn't use a ball like that, and it's either rugby league or rugby union. And because of the fact that rugby union is the religion in New Zealand, I'm going to say rugby union.
It's rugby league. 50-50.
Ah!
50-50.
No.
You wouldn't want that in a one-question shootout, would you?
I certainly wouldn't, because I'd have got it wrong.
I'd have got it wrong. So this is Jack Newton.
Right. It's a credit that man's still playing. I'm going to say a chainsaw.
You're going for a chainsaw, right? Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that. He walked into a propeller at Sydney Airport in 1983.
Shit.
So he was walking to an aeroplane, he was talking to someone, and he wasn't watching where he was going, and he walked into a propeller. It's a terrible story. But yeah.
I'm just glad he survived.
He did really well, and he's still going, yeah. What about Zugspitze?
It's the highest mountain in Germany, the Zugspitze.
Yeah, okay, you're right. It's Germany. Do you know the height of it?
I don't actually, but I do know it's Germany.
2,962 meters, Shaun.
Okay. Whoa. That is a very good question. I'm going to say you would land on. Let's see now.
What colour is Trafalgar Square? Let's break it down.
Okay, Trafalgar Square is red.
Correct.
Right. That's going to be on the top left-hand corner there. Trafalgar Square is going to be red.
So that means it's going to end up on green.
Right. So Leicester Square is yellow. Old Kent Road is brown, and Whitehall is pink. So, wow. I'm going to have to say Old Kent Road.
Well, it's got to be 10 spaces takes you to green. You actually got the answer and then didn't do the math.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Never mind. All right, now what's the clue here that you saw?
You can see on the grille of the front of the car is the trident, which is the logo or the symbol for Maserati.
Maserati it is. Do you know what Ghibli means?
I don't. Remind me. I think
it's a wind. It's a Libyan Arabic name for a dry southwesterly wind of the Libyan desert.
Thank you for that. I won't forget that now.
Now you are an All Black fan, so I'm hoping you get. I am
right now. I know that Richie McCaw won 148 tests. I definitely know that. And I think he is the record holder. If I was to guess, I would say Kieran Reid, who only recently retired, would be third on the list.
Top on the list, Richie McCaw. Second on the list, Kevin Mialamu. Third on the list, with 127 tests, is Kieran Reid. Well done. Yeah. Fourth on that list, incidentally, is the current All Black captain, although he's not in Australia at the moment. That's Sam Whitelock.
Yeah, Sam Whitelock. Is White. I would say Whitlock, but Whitelock. Okay.
Yeah, so there you go. All right. So what about this? This will be testing, yeah.
I've never heard of Chanel number 22.
Okay, well, Chanel number 22 is in fact a Chanel fragrance, but there is no Chanel number 7.
Okay, that's really, really good. Okay, that's good. I thought that was okay.
What about a philatelist, Sean?
The word "phil" is a prefix which means Greek for like or love, and a philatelist collects or loves stamps.
Yeah, that is a classic trivia question if ever I've had one there, eh?
Yeah.
Nice one. So a possible 30 points have been on offer so far, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the end of that round. And so we are looking at a general knowledge round now. Let's go with question 1.
Question 1. The average house price in New Zealand is now $1 million, according to One Roof's September House Price Index. Which of these regions currently has the cheapest average property value? Is it A, Northland, B, Waikato, C, Tasman, or D, Canterbury? Is it Waikato?
It is Waikato. That is where Hamilton is. Waikato. So Northland, Waikato, Tasman, or Canterbury. Yeah, we can't get through a week in New Zealand without talking about house prices, Sean. It's yeah,
wow.
They've gone crazy in the last little while.
I'll have to have a guess on that one.
All right, question 2.
Is this: what has mysteriously disappeared from this photograph? Is it A, Buckingham Palace, B, the Eiffel Tower, C, the Taj Mahal, or D, the Washington Monument?
Got some good history questions coming in for the end of this round for you, Sean. All right. Oh, I love your question, Diane Dickinson. Oh, Diane, I can't wait to ask him that one. In fact, I'm going to ask you this now, Sean. This is a great question. Who has played at Wembley the most times and never won a cup? It's a trick question, Sean.
No.
The Grenadier Guards.
Okay.
They're the pipe band, I take it, Sean.
Yeah, they certainly are. Okay. Yeah.
Don't think he was too impressed with that question, Diane. Question 3.
Which of the following is an adverb? Is it A, quit, B, quiet, C, quilt, or C, quiet?
Quit, quiet, quilt, or quiet. One of those 4 is an adverb. Which one is it? All those retired English teachers again are rubbing their hands together, Sean. Question number 4.
What is the most westernmost city in New Zealand called? Is it A, Gisborne, B, Invercargill, C, New Plymouth, or C, Whangarei?
So Gisborne, Invercargill, New Plymouth, or Whangarei for the westernmost city in New Zealand. Now, Sean, you've been to none of these cities. Oh, you've been to one of them, actually.
I think I know this. I think I do.
Okay. We'll find out in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll find out in a minute. Find out in a minute. Yeah. I mean, 3 of those cities are in the North Island, one's in the South Island. So the westernmost city in New Zealand. Okay. Question 5.
100 shares in what Kiwi company currently returns you the most money? Is it A, A2 Milk, B, Contact Energy, C, Mainfreight, or D, Spark?
All right, so if you've got some money in the share market, you probably watch the reports every day and you'll have some idea about this one. But the answer to this, yes, it's not even close, Sean. It's not even close. 10 times, in fact, more than any other. So let's see how people get on there, this particular one. A2 Milk, Contact Energy, Mainfreight, or Spark, your 4 options. Here's question 6.
What is marked by the location of the blue star? Is it A, Forbidden City, B, Mecca, C, Mount Everest, or D, Taj Mahal?
Okay, so it looks to me like we're in Asia. Forbidden City, Mecca, Mount Everest, or the Taj Mahal? Okay, it's a good question. You just have to, you haven't got the familiarity of knowing where all the countries are, have you?
You haven't. I'm trying to work out geography, which will help me. So.
Yeah, I think there's a few people around New Zealand doing that at the moment.
I know which one it isn't.
Yeah.
I know two which it isn't. Two.
So we've eliminated 2.
I've eliminated 2.
All right, so it's one of the other 2. Okay, we'll find out in a minute. Here's number 7.
Who was revealed as the world's most powerful woman at the end of 2020? Is it A, Angela Merkel, B, Jacinda Ardern, C, Kamala Harris, or D, Queen Elizabeth II?
So I imagine this was a Forbes poll. They tend to do this sort of thing, the most powerful woman, etc., etc. The list of the world's most powerful women. In the context of the question, women should be AN, of course, not EN, but moving on. All right, see if Shaun gets that one right. Question 8.
Which organisation is represented by this logo? Is it A, NATO, B, UNICEF, C, the United Nations, or D, World?
So NATO, UNICEF, UN, or World Vision, exactly the same shade of blue as the believe it or not colours. Interesting. Okay, I bet you know that one, Shaun.
Yep.
It's a good familiar one, that one. Very clear logo. I'm sure most people will know that one. Question 9.
What New Zealand politician helped popularise the catchphrase "Okay, Boomer" after she used it in Parliament? Is it A, Chloe Swarbrick, B, Julie Ann Genter, C, Louisa Wall, or D, Marama Davison?
Yeah, very famous piece of political history. This that came from nowhere, really. It's just a off-the-cuff comment that's gathered legs, certainly in social media land.
I'll have another guess for that one.
Yeah, Chloe, Julianne, Louisa, or Marama are your 4 possible answers there. Question number 10.
Finally, what colour best illustrates New Zealand's size and population in relation to Australia? Is it A, blue, B, green, C, grey, or D, yellow?
Apologies to anyone if they are colourblind here. Yeah, so you've got to take the outline of New Zealand and work out which one relates most closely to Australia. Good question. You've got to size it all up, don't you? You think you've got that one, big fella?
I'll just have a guess.
Okay. All right. Very good. So that brings us to the end of round 4. We've got 1 round to go. And we finished with a science and nature round. But we've got a couple more questions for you, Shaun. Joan has got an English history question for you, Shaun.
Go on.
Joan would like to know who was the first king of all England?
That was in 924, and his name was Athelstan.
You're absolutely right. According to Joan, that is the correct answer. Hi, Shaun, it's Helen here. What is Donald Duck's middle name?
Donald Fauntleroy Duck.
Is correct. You're on a roll now. You've got 2 out of 2. Do you know the name of the walled city in Colombia? This is from Mauricio, who actually appears to be from Colombia. I think he obviously lives in New Zealand now, but the walled city of Colombia.
No, I don't know.
It says Cartagena. Cartagena?
Okay.
I've heard of that. I just didn't know in that context. Jenny Wilcox poses an interesting question. What colour karate belt did Elvis Presley have?
Oh. I'm going to have to say black. I knew he was, well, I'm going to say black.
You're right. You're right. You're on fire now, boy. Very good.
I knew he was very good at karate, so I'm going to say black.
Yeah, you're quite right. And one more question before we move to the next round. Carol Bergamini would like to know, what notes are the 4 strings of a violin?
Oh, wow. A,
Correct.
A's one, because you got to tune, I'm sure you got tuner violin to A. A, D, E, F, I'm going to say.
You're very close. A, D, E, G.
Oh, I knew D, E, oh.
That's 3 out of 4. That's not too bad. Brenda Webb says, Shaun, what was the name of the lion in Daktari?
Well, Clarence the Cross-Eyed Lion.
Yeah. Well done. Very good.
Daktari means doctor in Swahili.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do the rest of the questions at the end of this round. Let's go through the answers to round 4, shall we? You obviously are going to be having a few guesses here, Shaun, but go for gold.
I'll probably say the last one, Canterbury.
You got it right. It is Canterbury. The average house price in Canterbury, 681,000. Northland, 781,000. The Waikato, 897,000. And Tasman's the highest, $922,000 is the average price of a house in the Tasman region. Have you worked out what we took away from this photograph?
That's got to be the Washington Monument, I'd say.
It's Washington Monument. Let's have a look.
Oh, okay. And I've been there.
Yeah, that's the Trocadero. Right.
Okay.
That's the Trocadero, Shaun.
Shocking. I've been up there. Is that shocking?
It just looks so different from that angle, to be honest.
Yeah.
No. Which of those is an adverb, sir?
Right, now an adverb describes a verb. So I'm going to have to say quiet.
Yeah, it is quiet. It modifies or qualifies an adjective or a verb. He was quite entertaining.
Okay.
All right, you thought you knew this one?
I think that's Invercargill, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's also our southernmost city. A lot of people think it's New Plymouth, but the country goes down and across, you know.
The reason I went for that, because I think you told me that before. It's the most southerly and westerly city in the world, isn't it? Isn't that the most westerly city in the world?
Don't know. It might be. It certainly might be the southernmost.
Well, if it's the southernmost, I can't see why it wouldn't be the westernmost.
Yeah. From what point, though? Western and eastern's hard to qualify, isn't it?
Well, you're going to take it from the international date line, and aren't you inside that? Anyway,
we'll look it up.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
You're right. It's Invercargill, though. Indeed, and
I do remember you saying something to me in that regard. So
yeah, Invercargill. That is the one of the main roundabouts there. Okay, so this company has gone ballistic since COVID hit.
Right. Let me have a guess.
Yep.
I'm going to say main freight.
Why would that be? Do you think?
I don't know. Just a guess.
Well, it's because people are freighting everything everywhere, all across the world. You know, people can't go and buy stuff, so they're having to freight it. And so their shares, they're saying they'll be the first company to hit $100 per share. Now, they were only $20 or $30 prior to COVID, so they've almost tripled, you know. So they're a real success story.
I was right. Oh, good. I was right. Okay.
Yeah. So they're 10 times any other company. The next closest, I think, is it's Spark, which is something like $8 or something. So it's not even close. $92 versus $8. Yeah. All right. You had two options for this, didn't you?
Right. I'll tell you which ones I ruled out. I ruled out the Forbidden City because China's more further to the right, and I've ruled out Mecca, which has been more to the left. So I'm going to say that's Mount Everest.
50-50, mate. You're not good at these tonight. You're 50-50s. You're getting them wrong. Mount Everest is a little bit further north east, I think, of that. So
yeah, slightly northeast. Yeah, it'd be slightly northeast. Nepal would be slightly northeast.
That's the Taj Mahal. Okay, the world's most powerful woman at the end of last year. Who do you think?
Oh, it's got to be Angela Merkel, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 years in a row, you know.
Yeah.
10 years in a row. Kamala Harris is third. Jacinda Ardern 32nd. The Queen is back in 46th.
Okay.
46th according to Forbes. Question 8.
That's UNICEF. If that was NATO, has a representation of the world with the olive branches looking above it from the North Pole. So it can only be UNICEF.
Do you know what year UNICEF was founded, Shaun?
Oh, 1948.
Close, 1946. The United Nations was 48, wasn't it? League of Nations, was it?
United Nations was 1946.
Okay, so it's the same year.
Okay.
Same year.
NATO's 48.
Okay. Question 9.
Right, let me have a guess. I'm going to say I like the look of Chloe Swarbrick.
You're kidding me, aren't you? So Chloe was in Parliament and she used it to shut down that chap on screen, a guy called Todd Muller. And Boomer obviously is someone of a certain generation, and she's very young as Chloe, and she didn't agree with something he said, so she gave him the OK Boomer call. That's part of history, as they say now.
Good.
All right.
Right. And that's what I was going to go for. I was going to say yellow, but I don't know why I would have said yellow, but
yeah.
I was going to say yellow.
It's
reason why?
Substantially bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, but why is it called yellow? Why?
No. We needed to come up with 4 colours, you see, to let you choose.
Okay.
Four. So we decided we'd colour it, as opposed to going 1, 2, 3, or 4. So yeah, yellow denotes the size and position in relation to Australia. So we've got 1 round to go.
Final round.
So that's our science round. Not too bad at this. Let's should we crack straight into it?
Let's go. Here's one of my favorite young Kiwi guys. What species of fish has this young lad snared here? They're smoked, eaten as sashimi, or cut into steaks and fried. Is it A, kauahai, B, kingfish, C, trevally, or D, wahoo? Now I remember receiving that picture. He was so overjoyed when he sent it to me, actually. Tell him who he is, friend.
Yeah, that's my son Harrison, and he was 13 years old. He'd been trying to catch one of these fish for years. He finally caught one, and that's 9.5 kilos. And one of the first things he did was flick a photo through to Shaun. So yeah, you would have seen that photo before. I'm wondering if
I do know the answer.
You do? You can remember? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see if you do shortly, folks. So what type of fish is that? Question 2.
The world's hottest temperature was recorded in Death Valley, USA on July the 10th, 1913. That was 134 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what in degrees Celsius? Is it A, 47.8, B, 56.7, C, 65.4, or D, 73.2?
Now, in Britain, you do imperial measurements, but do you do Celsius or Fahrenheit?
We use Celsius. We used to use Fahrenheit, but
so are you able, with that knowledge, are you able to easily know the answer to that? Or
an educated guess, I could get that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, let's move on. Question 3.
What animal is protecting its lunch here? Is it A, an aardvark, B, a hyena, C, a jackal, or D, a seal?
Which animal is protecting its lunch here? A very close-up image of which animal do you think? Aardvark, hyena, jackal, or seal? Fairly pronounced teeth. You wouldn't want to mess with this critter, would you?
No, you're joking.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't want to come within a mile of one of them. Okay, put your answer down for that one. We'll move to question 4.
A Maori poi is a ball of what? Is it A, flax, B, mud, C, paper, or D, spiderwebs?
A Maori poi is a ball of what? Flax, mud, paper, or spiderwebs? I'm not sure in your little tour of New Zealand we came across any twirling pois.
Not that I recall. I'll just have a guess.
Yeah, we went to a marae, of course. But All right. Flax, mud, paper, or spider webs for that one. Number 5.
Seen here, what dog breed can be English, German, Neapolitan, Pyrenean, or Tibetan? Is it A, a bulldog, B, a hound, C, a mastiff, or D, a terrier?
Bulldog, hound, mastiff, or terrier for English, German, Neapolitan, Pyrenean, or Tibetan, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You've got a dog, have you, Sean?
No.
Any pets at all?
No.
Too busy, eh?
Yeah, far too busy. How's Barney, by the way?
Barney's good. Barney's good. Took him for a walk earlier. He's a happy wee Scottish terrier. Question 6.
Which city averages no rain whatsoever in August? Is it A, Athens, B, Honolulu, C, Los Angeles, or D, Sydney?
Athens, Honolulu, Los Angeles, or Sydney. Which city averages no rain whatsoever in August?
I'll make an educated guess there.
So August was last month. So now, well, it's winter.
No clues, Bren. No clues.
Well, it's winter in New Zealand. It's summer in the UK. But of course, you need to figure all that out, wouldn't you? All right. Question 7.
In subject angles up to how many degrees? Is it A, 90, B, 182, 270, or 360?
90, 180, 270, 360. In geometry, supplementary angles add up to how many degrees? Okay. Yeah, this is the sort of thing you know if you're still at school, I reckon. Do you know the answer, Sean?
I think I always get this confused. It's a choice of 2, but I'll have a. I think.
All right, beautiful. 3 questions to go. Here's number 8.
Which cloud formation is found at the highest altitude? Is it A, cirrus, B, cumulus, C, stratocumulus, or B, stratus?
Okay. Science isn't my thing, Sean. Do you know this one?
I think so.
Okay, it's a good question. It's something you feel like you should know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That feels like a chase question to me. Yeah. Okay. 2 to go.
Question number 9. What is a chemical symbol for carbon monoxide? Is it AC, CCO, CCO2, or CCM?
Okay. I can have an educated guess at that one, I reckon.
Yeah.
Carbon monoxide is round 5, question 9. Beautiful thing. Righto. Last question, Sean, for tonight, and then we're going to bombard you with a few more.
Question number 10. The Balkan Mountains run through the center of what country? Is it A, Bulgaria, C, Croatia, D, Italy, or C, Italy, or D, Sweden?
Bulgaria, Croatia, Italy, or Sweden for the Balkans. Yeah, I guess figuring out what part of the word the Balkans are would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. So that gets us to the end of our science and nature round. And what we might do, Sean, just ask you a couple of questions. And then I think what we might do is at that point, jump through the answers and then jump back into, I'll take my slideshow off and we'll be able to answer those questions with you in full screen. So without any further ado, let's just crack into the answers, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so what about this one?
That's a kingfish. Yeah.
That is a kingfish. Yeah. So they have
so excited when you send it to me. Actually, yeah, that's a kingfish.
Hey, look at his face. I mean, he'd been trying for 4 years to catch one. He finally caught one. I mean, it was heavier than him, just about. Not really, no. So that was 9.5 kilos, and I think he's caught about 3 since actually. When it rains, it pours.
Well, I think he's a much more skilled and experienced fisherman now. So
he outwishes me. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it is a kingfish. Number 2.
Right. Well, 97.4 degrees Fahrenheit is 37. So if I had to guess, I would say that would be, I'd say that the first one, 47.8.
56.7.
Yeah.
All right, what about this one?
That looks like a seal to me.
It does, doesn't it? But the seal wouldn't have teeth like that, I don't think. Ah, a hyena.
As a hyena, okay.
Yeah, it's a scavenger from Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a few seals on the waterfront in Auckland at the moment, actually. We went for a walk the other day down there and there were seals. There were a couple of seals. So I think it's that time of the year. Question 4?
I'm going to say paper.
It's actually flax, Sean. Yeah. No, the poi is a very light ball that the ladies twirl when they sing and dance.
Okay.
Made of flax. Made of flax.
It's got to be a mastiff, isn't it?
It is a mastiff, you're right. Yep, spot on. Right, now you're going to have an educated guess at this one.
Right, well, because of the fact that Sydney would be in winter at this stage, I would imagine that would be Sydney.
No rain in Sydney in winter.
That's my answer.
It's Los Angeles. Plenty of rain in Sydney in winter. Los Angeles, yeah, no rain at all in August. So no wonder people live there, I imagine. That's partly why. What about your supplementary angle, Sean? You had this down to 2, didn't you?
Yeah, it's either 90 or 360. So I'm going to say 90.
180, Sean. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. Question 8.
I think the cirrus cloud is the highest.
Yeah, spot on. Cirrus it is. Carbon monoxide?
Mono gives it the clue, so it's CO.
Yep, it is CO. Indeed. CO2, what's that?
That's carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, quite right. CO2 would be dioxide. And the Balkans, Sean?
Well, the Balkans used to be where the old Yugoslavia country used to be, and so there's got to be Croatia, I think.
Almost. It actually runs 557 kilometers from the Bulgarian-Serbian border eastward through central Bulgaria.
Okay.
With the foothills reaching Cape Emin on the Black Sea.
Okay.
So there you go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will do it for tonight. So, Sean, what we're going to do is we're going to bring you back live. And just a reminder, we are going to explain what to do with your answers for the quiz shortly. But we've got some more questions for you, sir. And we're going to start with this. What is the largest dolphin in the world called?
Is it a bottlenose?
It's orca.
Yes, yeah.
The killer whale or the orca is actually the largest dolphin in the world. Now, just remember that we didn't set these questions, so someone else has. But who played the music for the movie The Third Man, and what instrument did he play?
Well, I knew he played the zither. I don't know the name of the. If you told, he played the zither, whoever it is, but I don't know who the musician is.
Anton Karas is the answer.
Yes, yeah, and yeah, that is a name I've heard of.
Don't forget, Sean, in a few minutes, I'm going to ask you for your favourite question that someone sent you, and we'll be able to, at that point, you can award the book. Next question, who famously sang the song You Need Feet?
No.
Someone called Bernard Bresslaw. Never heard of him. Don't know.
I have. He used to be in the Carry On films.
Okay.
So very, very famous in it.
Maybe from there. Right. All 3 astronauts on the first mission to the moon were born in what year?
1930.
Good question. Well done. Yes, spot on. Spot on. The second most popular sport in New Zealand after rugby union, from James Mason.
Second most popular sport after rugby union. I'm going to have to say rugby league.
We're world champions in the test version of it, Sean.
Yeah.
We got robbed in the one-day final version of it.
Oh, cricket. Okay, cricket. Of course, it's cricket.
And a couple more. Hayley Coe has got a question. Which New Zealand movie won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival of 1993?
Piano?
Yeah, you got it. Very good. I didn't think you'd get that. Where did you pull that from?
Because I knew that was I thought that was a New Zealand film. And obviously Holly Hunter was in it. So she was a New Zealand actress, wasn't she? So
Nice. Okay, a couple more. The World's Fastest Indian, a movie starring Sir Anthony Hopkins, you might recall. It was a story about which New Zealander?
Oh, God. Did he ride a motorcycle?
He did ride a motorcycle.
I can't. I was asked this question on when I tried to become an egghead. Is it Chris something?
It's Bert someone.
No, no, I can't remember.
It's Bert Munro.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So that story's in your book. If you ever get Shaun's book, folks, he tells you about how he thought his life was ending when he never became an egghead, but it all changed.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know him as you know him today had he won the egghead race. But anyway, that was from Grant in Auckland, that question. Jasmine Bull would like to know, in the 2001 New Zealand census, more than 53,000 people marked something as their religion. Very strange, but what do you think it was?
I'm going to say Jedi.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Jedi.
It is Jedi. Did they do that in Britain too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jedi indeed. David Martin, when did New Zealand gain independence from Great Britain?
Oh, wow.
Because we became a dominion.
Okay, when you say independence.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too, right? Because we became a dominion in a different year to the one I see from David.
I should know this. I'm going to have to say 1840. I know it's wrong.
1947. We became a dominion in 1907. So.
Okay.
Right. A couple more.
That's something. Yeah, that's something which is in the back of my mind. Yeah.
Okay, Amanda Maris, who directed the film Hunt for the Wilder People?
Never heard of that film.
A New Zealand director.
Oh, Peter Jackson.
Name another one. More recent.
No.
Taika Waititi.
Okay.
And Adrian Dench has gone into quite some detail for this question. I was born in Invercargill, New Zealand in 1908, attended Otago University. I became Prime Minister in 1953. Who am I? And it's a trick question, Shaun, because it's not a Prime Minister of New Zealand.
Robert Menzies.
It's the Prime Minister of Southern Rhodesia at the time.
Oh, Ian Smith.
No, Garfield Todd.
Yes, I've heard of Garfield Todd. Yeah.
Okay. And when New Zealand was chartered by Captain Cook, he made 2 mistakes. And the chap asking this is an experienced tour guide, and he would like to know if you know what either of those were.
Oh, like when he chartered New Zealand, made 2 mistakes.
It's kind of obvious when I look at the answer, right? And it's to do with not realizing that islands were islands when they weren't, or the other way around.
Presumably, he thought it was connected. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's close to that. He thought that Stewart Island was attached to the bottom of the South Island. He didn't realise it was a separate island, and he had Banks Peninsula, which is part of the South Island, as in fact an island when it was part of the South Island. So that's very good. And finally, your last question, Shaun. Golden Bay, which is where Abel Tasman arrived in New Zealand before Captain Cook. He visited Golden Bay. It's in the Upper South Island, which is in the Tasman region. Do you know roughly what year it was that Abel Tasman visited New Zealand?
1642.
Very good. Very good. He's added one final question here, and we'll call that a day. What nationality were the people Captain Cook took on the ship Endeavour as translators on his expedition to New Zealand and the South Pacific Islands?
Oh, wow.
It is a Pacific island, and they do speak French.
Tongan.
They do speak French.
Tahiti.
Yeah, Tahitian, very good. I was gonna say Paul Gauguin because I thought that might have helped you out.
Yeah, Tahiti. Right, so if I had to pick one question,
There you go.
I suppose my favourite question would have been the English history one, the first King of all England.
First King of all England. Very good. All right, well, we'll figure out who that was. I can't quite tell who that was here, but I'm sure Kate can figure that out and pop it in the chat. That was Elvis, the House of Wessex, grandson of Alfred the Great, 30th great grand uncle to Queen Elizabeth II, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
As you know. Anyway, folks, that's Shaun and I done for another fantastic evening with the folks from Metlifecare, and we're going to bring back Kate now to just wrap things up for us.
Guys, thank you so much for another awesome quiz. Thank you everyone at home for joining us. It was Joan that asked the question about the first King of England, and we'll track Joan down and make sure that we get your details for the book. So well done, Joan. Thank you, Shaun, again for getting up so early and being a wonderful host. We really appreciate your company. Thank you, Brendan, for the wonderful content, and Sammy, our facilitator. Really appreciate it. Please stay tuned for more Big Nights In. Next week, we've got an exclusive concert to share with you, which we're really excited about. And I've just once again in the chat posted the place to send your scores. There's a prize draw for everyone that enters their score can be eligible to go in to win a prize. And if you just go to metlifecare.co.nz/quiz scores and fill out the form, then you're into the draw to win a prize. So thank you once again, everyone. We've really enjoyed hosting you, and from everyone at Metlifecare, stay safe, and we'll see you again next week.
Cheers, take care.
Thank you, Shaun.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.